So, Disney Star Wars films are kind of a contentious thing here on YouTube, right? They're a super contentious thing. A lot of people out there are like, they're terrible. Other people's out there are like, they're great. And it's this really weird place to be, right? Either way you look at it, either extreme. See, me, I'm kind of in the center. I like the majority of them, have my issues with The Last Jedi. Still really enjoyed Solo, looking forward to what's coming out next. But one of the things that really bothered me, that I felt was a really big downer, was when it came out that, the Boba Fett movie was canceled, that potentially Solo 2 was canceled. A lot of things were canceled. Anything that wasn't going to be a core episodic story was canceled for the time being, while they took Star Wars back to the drawing board and ultimately determined to give it to D.B. Weiss and David Benioff for 2022. So that's a long time, 3 years, from one to the other. It doesn't really feel like it's going to be that long, but it still kind of sucks because we were just ramping up Star Wars films. We were just ramping up the idea of getting multiple per year Star Wars movies when we had only so few, and they were so few and far between that you were just like, I want more. Now, there are people out there that argue that it's not a good move that Disney wouldn't do this. It's not a good move that Lucasfilm would want to put out multiple films a year. It can't necessarily sustain that. I disagree. There's enough there with the legends, with the EU, that they could easily tell a lot of those stories, or go back to other points within some of these core characters and tell different snippets of their life. Like what was it like for Luke right after the fall of the Empire? What did he do? That would be an interesting storyline. What about Han and Leia? Could they potentially do that story after Return of the Jedi? There's all these elements. We don't need like a Yoda movie or anything else like this, but there's all these things they could tell us, and they could also take it into new and exciting ways. They could tell us stories with new characters and create new adventures. And that was what I was looking forward to. I really enjoyed Rogue One. Yes, it tied into A New Hope very much, but it gave us a whole bunch of new characters, and with very few cameos, and it gave us a whole bunch of things to kind of just dive into. And as a result, Cassian Andor and K2SO are getting their own series on Disney Plus. So in some aspect, it lives on, even though it was a very bleak ending to that movie, going to show us that there's, actual war in Star Wars, and it worked out really, really, really well. So I've been thinking a bit more about like these anthology movies. Now, I'm a firm believer that Solo 2 should happen. I'm a firm believer that it should be tied into Boba Fett, and that should be the storyline. I've pitched this multiple times to people. They really, really, really like it. So I'm hoping that maybe one day I'm proving correct. But really, when it comes to Star Wars anthology movies, it needs to be done on Disney Plus. Now that they have a platform for distribution, now that they have a platform for keeping people around to like pay the monthly subscription fee for it, now that they've got all of that infrastructure in place, what we're going to see, I believe, is a second renaissance of Star Wars content, but for television. We're going to see this specifically for television. And a lot of it's going to, well, not television, streaming, but it's going to be all on Disney Plus. And I think that is how you set the tone for the theatrical side of things. Whatever D.B. Weiss and David Benioff are doing, whatever they've got planned for their trilogy of films, I guarantee you it's already been written. I guarantee you the outlines, the treatments, all of that stuff has already been either greenlit or given notes to by Kathleen Kennedy and the Star Wars Story Group. And at this point now, they're going to start really ramping it up. They're going to start really ramping up to get these things off the ground, to probably start shooting the film early 2021, maybe late 2020. They're gonna set everything up. What they should do in the meantime is take off some of those characters, whatever the pre-stories are going to be, and send that to Disney Plus. Give it maybe a $50-60 million budget. We can do a lot now with that. Keep it maybe smaller, more isolated, only a few characters. Tell us these simple, intimate stories with a couple of really kick-ass Star Wars moments. And then from there, ramp it up. It doesn't need to be a TV show. It could be a movie. It could be an anthology film, but Disney is going to eventually do that. They're doing the TV shows right now, I think, because it's the cheapest aspect. It's the cheapest aspect. It's like $100 million for 8 episodes of The Mandalorian, but they have those sets built, and then they're going to be able to reuse them come season 2, which has already been greenlit as season 2. And then, of course, when that does well, inevitably a season 3, so on and so forth. You know how TV is. And that's going to do really well to keep people paying out that $7 a month for right now to get into Disney Plus. So at the time, or when the time comes for it to move over to, let's say, a longer, a format of doing films, they could easily do that. They could easily do what Netflix does. They could do a release in theaters of this movie, whatever movie they want to make, and then do a big episodic film. They could easily do that. I mean, imagine this. Imagine they do this, and right before the release of episode, whatever these new ones are going to be, episode 10, maybe. I don't think it's going to be an episode, but whatever the next trilogy is going to be, they have a prequel film, kind of like the Star Wars Clone Wars movie that they did, but way better. And that's already been out. That's already going to be coming to Disney Plus, right? More content there. But they release it in theaters as a double feature, a double billing with this new movie, giving you, if you want, one night only, the chance to watch it back to back. They could sell more tickets, sell more merch, make more money. I mean, that's, in my mind, a fantastic way of attempting to keep theaters afloat and to keep people coming to your streaming service. Now, I don't think Disney's going to have any trouble getting people to go and do their streaming service. I don't think there's going to be a problem at all. I really feel Disney is ultimately looking at this and going, yeah, we're fine. We're 100% fine, simply because it's Disney. It's got Marvel and Star Wars and everything else that they've ever done attached to it. Don't mind the lightning if you can hear it. I don't really have a choice on that matter. And they can do that. And then people are going to pay the money. People are going to pay the money. People are going to make it successful and give Disney all the money back that they're losing with some of these films in the box office. And with that money then comes funneling it into Star Wars. And I think the best course of action is anthology movies, single standalone stories that broaden the horizon for Star Wars. They don't need to be TV shows. The Mandalorian works. Cassian Andor being a TV series could potentially work. I'm not too sure. But giving us the Boba Fett movie or Solo 2 for Disney Plus is probably the best course of action, because then they could lower the budget. They could lower the budget, make it TV movie budget, and then from there, make it good, build it up and start selling the merchandise. Because, at the end of the day, that's really what it all boils down to, is selling merch. And Disney's fantastic at doing that. So in my mind, anthology movies have a better shot at staying alive, at not only that, but being profitable for the company when they hit, when they hit Disney Plus. Anyway, I have a feeling my power is going to go out quite literally at any time now. So I'm going to go. But those are just my thoughts about this one. I want to hear what you guys have to say about it. Do you think that it's possible that these are going to go to Disney Plus, or are they just going to focus on doing TV series? And if so, what in the EU would you love to see them adapt to a television show, or what would you like to see them adapt into a movie for Disney Plus? I want to hear your thoughts. I really do. I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day, and peace out.